JP Alexander for the Rabid Dogs Unleashed. Today is Monday, February 22nd, 2021. Today I'm going to be talking about Woody Allen. Today, I think last night was the premiere on HBO of Farrow versus Allen, which is a documentary about the case against Woody Allen brought up by his ex-partner, Farrow. Okay, we're going to some background here. Farrow, born 1945, was dating. I guess they were a couple. They never got married to Woody Allen, born 1935. From 1980 to 1992, they were a couple. She was previously married to Frank Sinatra from 1966 to 1968. She was married to Andre Previn, who I think is a writer, from 1970 to 1979. And she was with Allen from 80 to 92. And as I can see, she hasn't been with anybody else, has not been married to anybody else. And I mean, maybe she's had partners since that. I don't know. Anyway, has 4 biological children of her own, 3 with Andre Previn, none with Frank Sinatra, and one with, supposedly, one with Woody Allen. This was Ronan Farrow, born 1987, I guess. He was born when they were together. They were a couple. There's some speculation he could be Frank Sinatra's child, and I'm a little confused. If she's dating Woody Allen, a couple with Woody Allen, I guess she admits to having sex with Frank Sinatra during that time. Maybe her and Woody Allen had an open relationship. I don't know. Anyway, she has 4 biological kids, and she's adopted 10 kids. She's adopted. She adopted some with Andre Previn, some after Andre Previn, and before. I think one between Andre Previn and Woody Allen. She adopted some when she was with Woody Allen, but only 2 of her children Woody Allen adopted. 2 of her adopted children Woody Allen adopted. And she's adopted some since she and Allen broke up. And her and Allen split because Allen was having an affair with her adopted daughter, Soon-Yi Previn, who was adopted, I guess, by her and Andre Previn, I guess, in 1977, when she was 7. Okay. And Woody Allen met her when she was, I guess, 12, 13. So he, I guess, he didn't adopt her. So he kind of helped raise her, I would think. But anyway, Farrow found some pictures of Soon-Yi Previn naked. And she said hustler-type pictures, not Playboy. I guess that meant more of the below area region and not just up here region. Anyway, her and Allen split around that time, and then shortly after that, she accused Allen of having molested her adopted daughter, Dylan, who Allen also adopted after. She adopted Dylan when Dylan was a baby in 1985, and Allen didn't adopt her until 1991 or something. So anyway, and they broke up shortly after that. How much of a father was Allen to Dylan? And I guess 1992 was when she found out about Soon-Yi and Allen having an affair, but that's also when she found out that Allen was molesting Dylan. I don't know. Allen says she's lying. Sounds like something that would happen through a divorce. Somebody lies. Things like this happen every day. But here's the issue that I have, okay? Now, I stick up for a lot of men, as we could see. I stuck up for Marilyn Manson. I stuck up a little bit for Harvey Weinstein. Not 100%. I think he's a pig. But I think a lot of his relationships were consensual. So I do tend to stick up for men when I think the relationship's consensual, and the women, after the fact, is saying something because they're not happy what they did at the moment, but years. Anyway, not getting into that. I'm not sticking up as much for Alan because Alan has a bunch of things that these other people don't have, and that's some fucked up evidence. Now, somebody brought to my attention, hey, him marrying his partner, not even his wife, his partner's adopted daughter, there's nothing illegal about that. No, that's not illegal, but it's something. And what it is not good. It's still fucked up. It's still creepy as shit, and something, it's wrong. It's something you shouldn't do. If I was dating a woman, you don't have a relationship with her daughter, her adopted daughter, her stepdaughter, anything. You just don't, that shit's just wrong. It's not illegal. Difference between illegal and what's fucking just fucked up. Okay, it's not illegal. The courts are not going to get you for, by the time she found the pictures, Sunyi was 21. So you could say, 21-year-old girl, even if she was 18, that's not illegal. Now, who knows if he had started something with her beforehand? They're saying no. Okay. Was he you're grooming her beforehand? I don't know. It's a very touchy thing because if you're with a woman, you're dating a woman, and her daughter becomes infatuated with you, let's say, and really looks up to you as a father figure, but you're not her father. She falls in love with you when you fall in love with her. It's creepy as fuck. It really is something I would strongly recommend against. But is it illegal? No. So you have that. You have the fact that, I think, I'm accusing Woody Allen of having sex with, his adopted daughter, my adopted daughter, when she was 7 years old. Well, what evidence you have? I have new pictures of him with my other adopted daughter. Just looks kind of fucked up to me. The whole thing looks fucked up to me. Again, illegal? No, not that part. But of course, the molesting a 7-year-old, yes. But again, what's the proof you have of that? You could just say, well, here's some other stuff that I have that's not proof, but it's just fucking weird. Woody Allen has been making movies since the 60s, probably around 1979. With the release of the film Manhattan, he started going down a kind of a dark road where his love interest in the movie was Mariel Hemingway, who was an underage girl at the time. One of Woody Allen's creepier relationships in movies, but not his last. He also had relationships with Elizabeth Shue, who was probably in her 20s at the time, and Julie Lewis, who was a college student at the time, in this other film, I forget what it is, where I think it was a niece or a friend's daughter who was a teenager that he was kind of being a kind of mentor to. So it seems Woody Allen got, at a certain time, he got into having young girls in his films, where he had relationships with girls who were way younger than him. Again, if they're of age, not Marilyn Hemingway, but they didn't have sex in them. I don't know. But it just seemed to me that he was reliving the childhood. Because if you look back at Woody Allen's childhood, I don't think he got laid much. I could just guess that. That's just me guessing. I know when he's in high school, probably 17, 18, he was selling jokes to comic writers, and he went to college. So I think he, since 1718, he had to make a living selling jokes to writers. And I think in his 20s, he was doing more of that. And he started his stand up in his late 20s, early 30s, and he started movies around the early his 30 and over. But I think it was in his first movie, he was 29. So maybe the 20s, maybe when was the first time he had sex? That's what I would like to know. When was the first time he had intercourse with a woman? This would explain a lot. This would explain maybe he's trying to relive his childhood of having relationships with women his own age. Maybe he lost all that. I don't know. Again, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist. I don't know. I'm just gonna say that it's kind of weird, and the relationships he has in these movies are weird. So you have all that. So, but here's the surprising part. It's not that surprising, but why hasn't Woody Allen been canceled? Since the allegations Mia Farrow has against him, since, you're talking, he's probably 27 years. He's released over 20 films in that time. The films are being released. Nobody's canceled him. Marilyn Manson has been accused of way less than molesting a 7-year-old girl, and he's canceled. His album's not being distributed. He's been thrown off a show that he was on. But Allen hasn't lost work, and I know, and not even that. He's acted. He's directed some of the biggest people in show business: Scarlett Johansson, Kate Blanchett, Alec Baldwin, Elliot Page, who has a lot to say about a lot of people, but obviously not Woody Allen. Nothing to say about Woody Allen. Wow, he's a great guy. He's fantastic. I'll star in his films any day. He did nothing wrong. Now, do I think Mia Farrow is lying? Possibly. It wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the last time that something like this happens. So it does seem kind of odd that she comes up and just, as soon as, the divorce happening, she comes up and says, "Oh, I'm finding out that he had, Did she coach her daughter? She could have. She really could have. And another child, Moses Farrow, has come forward in defending because Woody Allen adopted him as well as Dylan, and he stands by Woody Allen. He says the mother, Mia, was abusive towards him when he was younger. So, Ronan Farrow, the most powerful of the children, who, is a writer, correspondent, whatever, he doesn't even acknowledge Woody Allen's his father. I say just get a blood test and let's just be done with it. But I don't think he wants to get a blood test because he's afraid he might be his son. So I think he'll just go with people assuming he's Frank Sinatra's son. He looks more like Frank Sinatra than he does Woody Allen, that's for damn sure. But maybe he'd rather not know the complete truth, unless it's, what he wants to hear. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I have no proof of any of this, But he should take a blood test so we could all know, so we can stop calling him Woody Allen's son, but, he might be Frank. I've heard that more since the kid was little. I've heard, Woody Allen's son, but might be Frank Sinatra's son. Whatever. So, he's the most powerful of the children, and he's hates Woody Allen. Pretty much calls him Mr. Allen. Doesn't even acknowledge, but probably wasn't raised by him much anyway. So what a fucked up family that is. A dynamic that was. Mia Farrow adopted 10 children. Jeez, people stop giving her adoption licenses. Some great loving couples can adopt one, and she has 10. Anyway, I think the whole thing is just fucked up. I'm on the fence about this. I like Woody Allen's films. I loved Annie Hall was his masterpiece. I loved Manhattan. I love Bullets Over. Was it Broadway? I love a lot. I can Crimes and Misdemeanors. I can rattle off 10, 20 of his films. Take the Money and Run. Banana Sleeper. What's New Pussycat? If you want to go really way back, the films that I just think are films of his. Yeah, he's got so many. Mighty Aphrodite. Husbands and Wives. Manhattan Murder Mystery. Even something like that, Throwaway, was kind of funny. He has an array of good films that I would go behind. Jasmine, Jasmine, I think was a great film. He's even got Andrew Dice Clay in that film. A great performance out of Andrew Dice Clay, as a matter of fact. So I think Woody Allen is a great, gifted, very talented comedian and filmmaker. But with that said, he's also a disgusting human being. I mean, you don't fucking take nude pictures of your wife's adopted daughter who's like 20 when you're doing it, and you're like 55. Yeah, I'm 55. You don't do that shit, man. If I started dating a woman now and she had a 20-year-old daughter, I mean, what the fuck kind of a sick fuck would I be? If I did, imagine if I did that, I was found out, my father would slap the shit out of me. So what kind of a fucking man are you? A 55-year-old man taking pictures of your girlfriend's 20-year-old. What kind of a fucking sick fuck are you? And he'd be right. I wouldn't even. Whatever. But again, not illegal, but pretty fucked up. Something you just don't do. And Woody Allen's filled with things you just don't do. So is it that hard to believe he touched his 7-year-old daughter? Dude, I would stick by you if you didn't marry your partner's adopted daughter, and you take nude pictures of her, and I would really tend to believe you if you didn't have films where you celebrated weird, fucked up relationships. If so many people are being canceled nowadays, I think we should cancel Woody Allen. Now, we should have canceled Woody Allen 20-something years ago, but we didn't. So let's cancel him now. I think we should watch the HBO series Farrow versus Allen, and we should cancel him now and say, we're not going to watch any more films. And people should stop distributing them. We have enough Woody Allen films, a great collection, that we can look at the rest of our lives and say, yeah, I like that film, but that guy was fucked up. Anyway, it's really all I got to say about that. Great films does not make you a better human being. You could still be a fucked up human being and be a good filmmaker. Look at Roman Polanski. Here's another one we should have canceled years ago, but we didn't. What is it with these guys and young? I mean, what is it with these younger? Roman Polanski had a 13-year-old in a bathtub and he drugged her, and then she said she was a virgin, so he fucked her in the ass. What is it with these people? What are you doing? What? Was it just? Did you just think that was at the time she was coming on to me? Dude, she's just. Again, that's fucked up. That's wrong. Woody Allen cannot be. He could be accused of things, but he can't be proven that he has done those things yet. Polanski did that. That's a fact. I mean, everybody knows Polanski did that, and he's such a coward. He jumped on a plane and went to Paris and hasn't been to the United States since. You fucking coward. A good filmmaker, fucking good filmmaker. Yeah, a really good filmmaker, but I'm going to have to and I've seen most of his films even since that happened, and I'm guilty too of watching some of his films and saying, That's a good fucking film. The Pianist. Great fucking movie. I remember afterwards saying that's a fucking masterpiece. That's a piece of art right there. Too bad the guy who made it's a piece of shit. Piece of shit. Piece of shit. Who's not canceled by Hollywood. So if you cancel Marilyn Manson and you canceling Louis C.K., cancel Roman Polanski and cancel Woody Allen. You could cancel them too and bring two new filmmakers into the mix who should have a chance to make good films. I think they both made enough films, and I think you should give somebody else a chance. That's my opinion on this, and that's, again, all I have to say about this. JP Alexander for the Rubber Dogs Unleashed. Until next time, ciao.